Hi, I'm Santosh, co-founder of SuperBased Observer. Before I jump into the walkthrough, let me give you a quick background about our inspiration for creating SuperBased Observer in the first place. We, as a team, were using coding agents as varied as Claude Code to Copilot and everything in between. And very often we used to end up hitting either session limits or we used to go over budget. And we weren't having any level of visibility in terms of what was happening under the hood to get a sense of predictability. So we needed some way of understanding how much our usage was, how it was changing over time, and if there's any way to actually save on what we were using. And we wanted to have that level of visibility, which we didn't find in any available tools to provide. And that is what led us to build SuperBased Observer. SuperBased Observer is a universal AI coding agent monitoring and observability platform. So what we end up providing is a bird's eye view of your activity across all AI coding agents. It gives you visibility at a session, token, tool level at a point where you can get granularity in terms of your costs like never before. So now let's jump into the walkthrough. If you're a first time user, you would have to download SuperBased Observer from an NPM package. You can go right here to our package website and do an NPM install of SuperBased Observer. I would recommend, if you're already using AI coding agents, you can just ask your coding agent to just install it and set it up at your local environment, and it will do the job for you. And once it is installed, you will have to open up this particular localhost port, and this is what you will be typically greeted with. What happens behind the scenes is that all of your history of usage gets ingested, processed, and gets presented to you directly right here. And this process is continuous. So as you're using your coding platforms, all of that data keeps getting updated here. Now, here we can see a total number of sessions that I have been using. Here you can get a breakdown of costs. Here's what you can get in terms of how many actions were recorded across all that have been used on this particular system. And here you get details on model by model usage, tool usage, and so on. Let me go to the analysis page. And here you get a complete view of your daily spends and how it has been changing over time. You get your headline numbers in terms of what total spend was, and you can get those kind of details by project or by tool that you've used on your local system. It gives you a lot of information on how you've been wasting any money, because there are cases where you can save on your spends by incorporating certain best practices. And all these best practices are things that are discovered by our platform and that's made available to the user to incorporate. Here you get more details on your daily spend by model, on which days you're spending more, etc., etc. Let me just give you a view of the cost incurred as well. Let me look at all tools, and here you get the total spend across all tools available. And as you can see, our most favorite model is GPT 5.4, and that's even higher than GPT 5.5. And let me look at just the 7 days window as well. Even here, you can see very clearly that GPT 5, you get granular information as well. When you go to sessions gives you a session by session data around your spends and how many tokens have been utilized, what tools were utilized, what were they utilized on. And it gives you message by message information as well. Let me select, I think we have selected all tools. Let me go and pick an interesting session for us to actually investigate. Okay, here is what most teams look for: a session by session understanding of what exactly happened, how much cost was incurred, how many tokens were utilized, how many actions were taken, what kind of actions were taken. And again, if caching was done effectively, and that because caching has a massive impact on your total cost incurred, and the total cost incurred has an impact on your session limits. And this is the kind of visibility that we are able to provide for our users. Okay, every step that was taken by AI agent is getting captured in our platform. And we do a comprehensive capture of every step like no other. Everything from which file was updated, how it was updated, how much cost was incurred for this particular action, etc. Now, let me show you what we do in terms of helping users understand what kind of behavior can be modified at an agent level to help them save on money. Now, the savings here can be significantly high when incorporated into your skills.md file or agent.md file. Here is where we have something called total top files reread. So this is where we give the user an idea of which files were read multiple times within the same session, even though it could have been avoided. So in these cases, if the user were to include these files in their markdown file itself, instructions itself, they could have saved a lot in terms of rereads. And there are other suggestions as well, like repeated commands, etc. Again, these are instructions that could be incorporated at the beginning so as to avoid multiple invocations, which end up taking more tokens and cost. Now, let me go to our last page, which is compressions. Now, this is where you're ultimately trying to save on money directly through SuperBased proxy intervention. So we use our own compression algorithms before messages are sent across to the LLM endpoints, where we end up saving on a lot of tokens without compromising quality. So this is something that requires users to configure and apply it locally in their project. And from that point onwards, all they have to do is use their AI coding agents regularly, as they usually do. And SuperBased Observer just works in the background, doing things when necessary and saving you tokens constantly, and ultimately money and session limits, etc. So there are more features that I could probably go into, but this is a quick overview of how SuperBased Observer is able to review your entire system, ingest data from all AI agents, and continuously track them for usage at a message level, at an action level, and gives you visibility of your usage across models, across messages, and gives you suggestions on how you can improve AI agent behavior, and also does active intervention in order to help you save on your costs. Right now, we have about 6,000 odd NPM downloads, and we are continuously making updates and improving our product. And we hope to reach a much wider audience as we go forward. Our product is open source and is pretty aggressively taking off because the market has been growing quite rapidly. And pretty soon, we will be looking to expand our marketing efforts to ensure that SuperBased Observer is available on every system where a coding agent is being deployed and used. Thank you.